Each of us has our own unique background and story of how we became a part of Chiefs Kingdom.
Our reach is far and wide, with fans all over the world cheering on our Kansas City Chiefs.
Everyone donning the red and gold has figuratively signed that mutual agreement and come together for one common purpose.
For 76,000 of us at a time, to descend upon Arrowhead, man our stations, let out our loudest battle cry to the tune of 142.2 decibels, and make that stadium rock until our opponents beg for mercy.
We are unrelenting in our pride for this city, these players, and this team. This is the show for the Allies, Arrowhead Allies.
Yes, hello everyone. Welcome to Arrowhead Allies. I guess there's nothing left to say here on this wonderful, beautiful 99-degree day here in Kansas City, but Allies, mount up.
What up?
I love it. We are here, baby. So excited. One of the few undefeated teams in the NFL. Y'all know we are ready to work, man. Shout out my guys here. We're the Avengers when it comes to the Arrowhead Allies, you know. So, hey, Arrowhead, shout out to you guys. Chiefs Kingdom, baby. Let's keep it going. 3-0 we're going for this week.
Dude, Money Badger, this is great. Okay, so I don't know if you can see the comment here we pulled up. This is right off the bat. Mykell Matthew, the Money Badger sexiest ally.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You know, I'm signing autographs when I step down in Kansas City. So, Kelly, if you're there, I will be looking for you.
Not that the rest of us should be ashamed or feel left out, because I'm sure. All right, Shaggy, I know you've got fans all over the place that are just, and I mean, it's all good. You're married anyway. So is Brian. You guys are good.
You guys ain't gonna get me in no trouble.
That's right.
I'm good.
Well, there's just a different tone here, guys. 2-0. I think I could sense going into the Chargers game last week. We were 2 days away. There was a little bit of, I don't want to say nervousness. We were all kind of cautiously optimistic. We all picked the Chiefs to win. All picked a close game. But coming off of that, it just feels like the Chiefs guys, go to you, Brian, here first, are just sitting in a different place. This NFL, season so far, just 2 weeks old, and it just feels completely different. To be 2-0, looking at what's happened in the rest of the league, looking at the rest of the division, you feel like 2-0 is a pretty good place to be right now if you're a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, Pete Rozelle would be proud, wouldn't he? There's a lot of parity in the league. The league is deep, and we can see it. Look, man, I think the Chiefs are who we thought they were, which is one of the best teams in the league. I'm sure there were a number of people who had their doubts and wouldn't think that the Chiefs would be 2-0. But props to the young guys on the defense, man. They stepped up in a big-time game, in a big-time moment, and made a big-time play. Who knew that Jalen Watson would have it in him to run that thing back 99 yards for essentially what was the game clinching score. I'm so proud of the young guys for stepping up, even with McDuffie, even with one of their own out. We had a rookie out, and a 7th rounder made a play like that. So against one of the best quarterbacks in the league in a big time stage, a once in a lifetime stage. This is the first Amazon Prime game that was shown, and they put the Chiefs in there for a specific reason, and we showed them why.
Amen to that. Let me tell you something, guys. This was a game that everybody circled on the schedule as the Chargers coming out party. I tried to watch the NFL Network's pregame going into last Thursday's game, but it was all about the Chargers. I put that on my YouTube page. Go back a couple of videos, and you'll see how biased the NFL Network is on their love for the Chargers. So the Chiefs had to defend their home. The Chiefs had to take out their frustration. The Chiefs had to get back at Justin Herbert, who was 2-0 at Arrowhead Stadium. And I'm glad the game unfolded the way it did, because I wanted to see Patrick Mahomes in some adversity, because the last regular season or the last game, that Patrick Mahomes played at home, he had some adversity. It was the AFC Championship game. And you may say, hold on, Shaggy. Are you saying you love playing from behind? No. But it seems like Andy Reid and the entire team are able to get their feet under them when they're down 10-0, when they're down 17-7. I feel more comfortable with the Chiefs down 17-7 than I do when they're up 21-3. Now you may say that's just scar tissue. That's just what you remember from the past. But I love seeing how we battled back at home. And of course, Jalen Watson catching the interception that was thrown to him and taking it back 99, whereas to Asante Samuel Jr. dropped his interception that was thrown right to him. Big players make big plays in big time games, and Jalen Watson is the man who delivered at crunch time when we needed him.
Yeah, well, Shaggy, that 10-point plus deficit, the numbers really agree with you here that the Chiefs are better when they're down. Best win percentage when trailing by 10 plus since the merger, including the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes at 55%. The next on that list is Tom Brady at 39. I mean, I don't know what it is about this kid. He's just special. Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, everything they've got going on offense, even when they're down, they are going to get that thing firing on all cylinders. And I just want to point the direction to Elvis Gerbach at 31%, beating out Peyton Manning when down 10 or more. Elvis Gerbach, ladies and gentlemen, the king is in the building.
Not literally. I wish he was here.
Back against the Raiders counts in there, doesn't it?
Man. Hey, what was something that people didn't talk about coming into the season that they just totally was oblivious to it all, which was totally wrong. As we see what's going on with the Denver Broncos, coaching really matters, and the Chiefs made big adjustments when it came to the second half. They only scored 7 points, end up adding some more points. And then defensively, they went from let's play man on Mike Williams and watch him kill us like he always does. So you know what? We're going to sit back in zone, keep everything in front of us. And they made the plays that needed to happen. Chris Jones was a beast. These guys were hitting. I feel like I got a hit on Justin Herbert. That's how many times that they were able to hit that guy. And they made the adjustments that coaching needs to do. And that's why coaching matters. And that's why the Chiefs are 2-0. And, right now looking like the favorites in the AFC West.
Brian, do you feel like there's something cultural here? The Chiefs have won this division 6 straight years. We heard about the Chargers. Shane mentioned it on his Shaggy Shane show. The love from the NFL Network, from the national media, it was everywhere. And it just seems to me like there's a mental edge the Chiefs have against this organization. Sure, they've lost to them a couple times, but the Chargers haven't made the playoffs. They haven't won this division since 2009. And I think it's cultural. I think it's coach and quarterback. I think it's situational. And I think it's the ability of this organization to continue to rise above and to continue to win. Like Shaggy Shane just said, big-time players make big plays. In this case, it was Jalen Watson, formerly of Washington State Cougars, out there on the West Coast, formerly of Wendy's. That's what this organization is able to do, Brian. It's cultural, and I think that this organization continues, as the Macho Man Randy Savage would say, Brian, the cream rises to the top. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Hey, it is cultural because you have to instill from the top. You look at Clark Hunt, and the expectations have risen ever since, quite frankly, he became the face of the franchise. At first, it didn't work out with Scott Pioli. He was real aggressive, wanted to get things right around 2009 or so after the Herm Edwards debacle in 2008. Wasn't quite right with Pioli in the first swing, but with that second swing, he knocked it out of the park with John Dorsey and Andy Reid. And it's been like that ever since Andy Reid has stepped into the building. Step one, when you want to win a Super Bowl, first thing you have to do, or you want to do, is to win your division. And the Chiefs have done that 6 straight years, about to make it 7, it seems. And the one thing that I want to say that points out to this culture and this new defense, while we were on the young guns on the back end, I wanted to point out that the rush defense was so impressive on Thursday. They took the run game completely out for the Chargers. You had Eckler with 14 rushes for 39 yards, averaging 2.8 yards for a carry. Joshua Kelly 4 for 22. Sony Michel 4 for 13, averaging 3.2 per. And Justin Herbert 2 carries for 1 yard. Overall, outstanding run defense from the Chiefs. I thought they made the Chargers one-dimensional on Thursday, which ultimately, to me, in my opinion, led to a dominating, smothering performance in that second half for that Chiefs defense.
Love it.
Yeah, and I mean, we see what difference Jalen Watson made there in a close game at the end. Rewind back to 2018, Kendall Fuller and Orlando Scandrick on the 2-point conversion are trying to communicate. They both take the slant. Mike Williams is wide open. Jalen Watson went on after this game to say, hey, I knew that they were going to crisscross the receivers, and so I looked over to Justin Reed and told him, hey, we've got to take each other's man. They're going to crisscross. And so I've got a little video here to show that and just show how inept Orlando Scandrick was. And a 7th-round rookie from Wendy's comes in, and he's able to know what the Chargers are going to do formationally, communicate that to Justin Reed, play it correctly, jump the ball, get an interception, return it 99 yards for the touchdown. Let's take a look.
4 seconds left in the game, but this is likely the final play that matters. End zone wide open. What a night for Mike Williams. And the Chargers have their first lead of the night.
You see Scandrick and Fuller talking. They're trying to pass this thing off. He's going to take him, but he doesn't pass it off. When Williams goes to the corner, you're going to see they're playing inside out. And Fuller then takes the inside slant, and Scandrick stays with it as well. He doesn't come off of it.
Yeah, so they're in a condensed split in the end zone. Coaches did a great job preparing us. I knew they were going to do switch routes, so me and Jay Reed talked to each other. I told them, let's switch. If his man goes out and my man goes in, that's exactly what they did. And the ball was just in my chest, and the rest was history.
And picked off at the 1-yard line. That is Watson out in front. Snead to protect him as well. All the way for the touchdown.
Oh, cool.
Unreal.
There you see it. Jalen Watson, my friend, 7th-round pick. What do we think?
I love it, man. I just think that, you know, they talked about it all training camp. They were saying that the communication between the defense had been really well throughout the training camp. You saw it in preseason, and now it showed, you know, with this big-time play. Jalen Watson, clearly, you know, they discussed, they probably seen it before. Like, hey, we remember that we lost the game off this very same type of play. If we see it in the red zone, let's be ready to switch it off. We know that Scandrick towards the end of his career was somebody that we should have replaced anyway. But, you know, Jalen Watson made that amazing play. And, you know, we've been hearing his name all, you know, preseason, and he made the big time play. And he didn't really get killed that game. You know, it was Fenton who had his struggles. Snead got burnt on a one-hand catch by Mike Williams. But what a great play by the young kid. And just the defense, people got to look out for this defense, because I know we're going to be without one of our guys that I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about, but the defense is going to be all right going forward, and I love it.
Yeah, smooth transition there, Mykell. Let's go. Shaggy Shane, we got Willie Gay is going to be suspended 4 games. Looks like he's not going to appeal it. 4 games are as follows: Colts, Bucks, Raiders, Bills. Darius Harris, is this the guy that we feel like is going to get the look here at the linebacker position? Undrafted rookie in 2019 out of Middle Tennessee State. Shane, tell me, help us. Is this going to be okay?
We are going to have to see how practice goes this week at the practice facility to see who specifically will be taking the spot of Willie Gay. We're not sure if the Chiefs are going to run more nickel and have a safety out there. But I think specifically with the Colts, you're going to need a linebacker, because they're going to run that running back. He's the best running back in the NFL. So the Chiefs will have to go to a linebacker. I think it will be either Darius Harris or Elijah Lee. You know, both those guys looked really good in the preseason. 2 backup, Willie Gay. And Willie Gay is going to be missed. He was in the right spot a couple of times last Thursday night. And he read the play, but he must have had Vaseline on his fingers, because Eckler slid. He had Eckler for a 5-yard loss on a screen that he stayed home, and Eckler slid off and gained 20, and it should have been a 5-yard loss. I'm not knocking Willie Gay, because he's a smart player. He's a good kid and will continue to grow. It's unfortunate that this took place, that this incident happened. He took full blame of it last January. He apologized. He said, I'm sorry. I will get better. He even tweeted, I will get better at this. And going back to, I believe, October of last year, he even tweeted, I have some mental issues I need to address. I want to thank the Chiefs brass for standing by me through this. That was before the vacuum cleaner was destroyed. So we are going to hope for the best for Willie Gay under these circumstances. I don't know if it's going to be Darius Harris or
Lee
Lee or
Leo Chanel get in there. Is that was
I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but we're gonna want to protect these Hoover cleaners, these Hoover vacuums moving forward.
It must have been an expensive one.
Roger Goodell said, "Hey, I don't want these broke. All right, we're going to give you 4 games and only give anybody else who deserves more or less." He's taking it out of Willie Gay. It's BS. We could go on about that, but I'm not going to do that because we have to move forward. I hope Darius Harris or Elijah Lee can step up and make the necessary plays when they're called upon this Sunday when the Colts try to establish that really good ground game.
Well, you said that with a straight face, Shane. And if you remember a couple weeks ago, we had Lance Twidwell on here from the Spoken. Lance, our guy, we love Lance, predicting the Colts to go 14-3 on this very show. Indianapolis Colts, guys, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be in Indy. And I'm thinking,
awesome.
Here it is, in case you don't believe us.
In case you didn't believe it.
Division, and he did say they'd go 14-3, but he also had them losing to the Chiefs, so that means they got to reel off 14 after this week to kind of meet Lance's prediction there.
Lance also had the Chiefs winning this, or the Colts winning this Sunday against the Chiefs. So he's going to have to talk about that on his show this Saturday. So we're going to have to see if the Colts are everything that Lance has said they are when they play the Chiefs this Sunday.
I mean, a tie against the Texans, a loss to the Jaguars 24-0. This Colts team, the Chiefs can't take it lightly. The Chiefs are going to have to go on the road and play a decent game here, play at least a C+, B- game. You don't just, write this down as a win. You can't do that in the NFL. We know that. We've seen crazy results all through 2 weeks. So the Chiefs coming into this is like an opportunity to get the offense rolling, get the receivers involved, because it seemed like there were some issues against the Chargers here. Now the Chargers defense, man, there's some just flat out players in that secondary. And of course you got Mac and you got Bosa up front that created havoc, and we're getting to Patrick Mahomes. But this Colts team, all I heard, guys, for years, ever since the Andrew Luck era, ever since 2018, when the Colts came here in December, it was January of 2019 in the cold after a snowstorm, is that this Colts roster, guys, this offensive line is so good top to bottom. This roster, do you see the depth at defensive tackle for the Indianapolis Colts? And all I've seen is misstep after misstep, bringing in journeyman quarterback. What are we seeing? Jacoby Brissett, Carson Wentz, Phillip Rivers, and now we're trying it again with Matt Ryan, who was a Super Bowl quarterback 6 years ago. Guys, it's not working for the Colts, and this is a time. Dick Vermeil, our good friend, guys, said it the best. Mykell, Matthew, keep losing, teams losing. And that's what this is about.
Yeah, and I think bad teams find ways to lose, and, they found a way to tie a football game, which is crazy. And I think the Chiefs are going to be all right when it comes to replacing Willie Gay. I think on the passing downs, you're going to see more 3 safety looks like they did last year with Daniel Sorensen. And the running downs, you're going to see Leo in there, against Jonathan Taylor. The Colts, when your quarterback is Matt Ryan and it's not, 2014, you're in big trouble. And that's exactly what you're seeing. They're in a lot of trouble because Matt Ryan isn't that guy anymore. The team is built to run the ball, but now everybody is prepared for Jonathan Taylor. It's not a surprise. So they're getting people to stop the run. Then they can't stop anybody. So if you're scoring, you get a lead like the Jacksonville Jaguars did. Now you have to pass the ball. And if I'm Jalen Watson, if I'm Snead, Fenton, Justin Reed, all these guys in the secondary, this is one of those games like, hey, man, who trying to get interceptions? Because I think it's going to be a lot of them available as the coach try to make a comeback with the Chiefs smacking them early on.
Hey, beware. Look, this is the National Football League. This is not the USFL. This isn't the NBA. And I'm not trying to invalidate anything that you just said, because everything you said was good, Mykell. But where I'm coming from is the Colts are 0-2. Or 0-1-1 rather. I think some people would rather be 0-2, but you're 0-1-1. You have no wins, and you're falling behind the Jaguars in that AFC South. I'm looking for a desperate Colts team. I'm looking for them to go in their bag of tricks and do whatever they can. Fellas, I'm gonna give you a question. Last week, who had the most targets for the Colts? Just throw out a name. Just give me whoever you think it is.
Michael Pittman.
I think he was out. Was he?
Yeah, he was out. Yeah.
Michael Pittman was out. Yep.
Was it Jonathan Taylor? Were they trying to force feed him the ball?
No, it was Ashton Doolin with 7 targets, 5
Who?
receptions for 79. Exactly. Ashton Doolin. I'm not sure. Might be tight end. I'm not sure who. I'm not sure about Ashton Doolin. But the point is, Clint, you hit it right on the head. This deep Colts team, where, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I know you got Jonathan Taylor, and I love their running backs, but Jonathan Taylor was bottled up last week. His longest carry was 21 yards. He had 54 yards the entire game. So as long as you can bottle him up, we've seen Matt Ryan meltdown. We've seen meltdown in the Super Bowl, in overtime in the biggest stage. I'm not worried about Matt Ryan. I'm not worried about the Colts offense, but I do think the Colts defense could possess some problems that could muddy the waters for the Chiefs if they're not coming out with their A game this Sunday against a desperate Colts team whose playoff lives are really on the line if you think about it and you think about what the AFC has to offer.
Well, it is their home opener, and their backs are against the wall. But I think what really helps the Chiefs is 10 days to prepare. The fact that the Chiefs have 10 days to prepare to go to play the Colts at the Colts home opener, which will probably be at least 8,000 Chiefs fans.
Oh.
So, and Clint's going to be there. He'll make up for at least 2,000 Chiefs fans. So I think it's going to give the Chiefs the advantage they need. I think it's going to be close going into the fourth quarter, but I think the Chiefs pull away and eventually win by 10.
I think the Chiefs are just going to mollywop them. I mean, I don't think this is going to be a game. The best
advantage
the Chiefs have is that they are going to dominate the Colts. They're playing the Colts. I mean, we all thought that this might be the winner of the AFC South heading into the season. We've seen them through 2 weeks. They've got nothing to offer. They've got no tricks up their sleeve. They're injured. They've hitched their wagons to Matt Ryan, another journeyman quarterback, and he's somehow worse than Carson Wentz. It's a cakewalk, guys. I won't hear anything else. And if it's not, then maybe there's trouble in Kansas City brewing.
Well, who is going to win? Who is going to win the AFC South?
I don't know. No one.
Come on, we are most of us on here are 80s babies, and we are 90s kids, and we are traumatized by that horseshoe. Come on, you cannot tell me that you're not.
No, I won't do it. No, we've got Mahomes. I won't do it anymore. I'm not scared. I'm not running away. We got Alex Smith, Steve Bono, Elvis Gerbach. Yes, I'm in the fetal position, not even on this show right now. But no, we've got Patrick Mahomes. I'm done being scared of anyone who comes in here. Anyone we go play. Bills, Eagles are the new hot team. Bucks, Rams, Broncos. Now they've got Russell Wilson. I don't care. We've got Patrick Mahomes, and we're taking it. I'm done.
I think that the Chiefs forever owe them because of the no punt game and then the 45-44 win. So the Chiefs always we cannot lose.
I wish that was all it was.
Mykell, that's not even that ain't even worse. The worst one is 95. I am traumatized, but 10-year-old Brian, I am still in that mindset with these Colts, man. I don't give a damn how bad they are.
Yeah, don't forget 96. The very next year, they came to Arrowhead and kicked us out of the playoffs again.
Right. What was that? Week 16?
Yeah.
In 96?
Yes.
I was there.
I don't know. I remember all the bad ones. I feel like those stick out in my mind so much more, and I don't want that to be the case. I don't want it to be the case anymore. Can someone help me?
I think the Chiefs going to be all right, man. Andy Reid, they got the mini bye, like Shane said. The guys are going to be prepared, and they know. Believe me, the Chiefs watched yesterday's Monday night's game and saw Buffalo and said, damn it, if we want home field, we got to keep up with that. So let's make sure that we're focused and ready to go.
Do you guys
Brian's over here scared of the Colts, and everyone's telling us to be scared of the Chargers, and we've got this that we're dealing with. Justin Herbert 16-18, Mahomes is 60-16. So I can't be scared of the Chargers, and I sure as hell am not going to be scared of 77-year-old Matt Ryan leading the Colts.
I'm not saying to be scared of the Colts or that we are scared of the Colts. All I'm saying is that those guys are professional football players too. That's all I'm saying. And I remember when the shoe was on the other foot, correct me if I'm wrong, Shane, but in 2006 with Herm, we lost the first 2 games, And then we went to Denver and really played them tough and almost beat them. I think it was in 2006, week 2. We ended up going 0-2, and then we won the next week against the 49ers, I believe. But still, man, I'm just saying, it's the National Football League. They're professional football players too. Frank Wright, look, his job might be on the line. Seriously, his job might be on the line. So you never know what desperation tricks that these Colts are going to pull out coming up this week against us.
Yeah, you're correct on your Chiefs history, but I think the 2006 Chiefs are they were a good team. You know, they took they went 0-2 and rebounded and made the playoffs. But the Colts, his name escapes me. Their general manager worked under John Dorsey with Kansas City, and he left.
Chris Ballard.
Chris Ballard. Thank you. I forgot his name. He's kind of in the John Dorsey, Brett Veach tree. Yeah. So up to 2016, he knew a lot about the Chiefs, but he's been gone for a while. And I think under those circumstances, that's going to be fun to think about how the Chiefs and Chris Ballard and Brett Veach do against each other, because I believe if Chris Ballard would have known that John Dorsey was going to get the axe 6 months later, that Chris Ballard would have stayed and probably would have tried to out-neck Brett Veach while Brett Veach was down at Texas Tech watching that kid play quarterback when he was topping out. So there's a whole bunch of different idiosyncrasies that we could mesh into this Chiefs-Colts game. That's going to be fun to watch unfold this Sunday.
When it comes down to it, we just need to remember this. Just Chiefs are good. Okay. Just everyone keep that in your mind when it comes to this game this weekend. You're worried about that Colts logo. You're worried about what could happen in a trap game. Just remember this sign carried over into week 2. We got the win against the Chargers and it still stands. Chiefs are good.
Chiefs are good.
We talk about, Noah, we've talked all week about not 2 weeks does a season make. We know this very well. But Noah, through the first 2 weeks of the season, does anything that you've seen, does anything that's occurred make you believe that, a lot of this hand wringing and things that we went through about this schedule, which I still believe it's a very difficult schedule, but that all this hand wringing in this division, Colin Cowherd as the Broncos, the number 3 team in the NFL, Russell Wilson, through 2 games, the Raiders the Raiders are 0-2. They were supposed to be a team with Devontae Adams, huge trade in the offseason that they were able to get with Devontae. You got Russell Wilson going to Denver. This division but all of a sudden, to me, through 2 weeks, it looks like about the same thing that we've seen for the last couple of years, which is, hell, the Raiders made the playoffs last year at 10-7. They're not making the playoffs this year. The Denver Broncos don't look like anywhere near a playoff team. So it comes down to Chiefs and Chargers. Again, that's kind of like what we've had the last couple of years. What's changed? Do you feel like that through 2 weeks that we can make any assumptions that maybe this daunting schedule and this division that's just impossible is a little different than what we thought it was?
The more people say that things change, the more they stay the same here in Kansas City. I mean, we've got the Broncos with Russell Wilson. They get Randall Gregory coming over on the defensive end to add some pass rush, but Nathaniel can't hack it. I mean, I feel like John Elway went out there and said, I'm getting Nathaniel Hackett. I don't care what his interview's like. I don't care what he says. I don't care what he does. I don't care what his history is. I cannot draft a quarterback. I can't find one. I can't do it. So if I can get him in here and get Aaron Rodgers, I know it's just a chance, but if I can do that, then I'm taking the chance. Couldn't get Aaron Rodgers, had to settle for Russell Wilson. Now he's stuck with this lame duck head coach who has no idea what he's doing. I thought Herm Edwards couldn't manage a clock or know when to call a timeout or know what to do in a game situation, and he just got fired at Arizona State. Nathaniel Hackett's even worse. And yes, I thought the Raiders would be better with Devontae Adams. Yes, I thought the Bengals would be 2-0 because they just went to a Super Bowl. They were the hot team. And so, yes, I thought the Titans and Colts would be kind of vying for maybe just the top in the AFC South, and now it looks like it could be maybe the Jags or Texans taking it. I don't know. This AFC thing is crazy. Yes, the Bills are good. The Dolphins have kind of surprised me. Maybe we'll get into that. And just, Mykell, what do you think about this AFC and AFC West and how it's going?
No, I think that, it's really early, so anything can happen. We remember the year that the Chiefs started slow and they won like 10, 11 straight games. So I think that, we just have to relax a little bit and let things kind of play out. But just early off of the 2 weeks that we're seeing, a lot of the stuff is, the Chiefs just has an advantage. You're up a game and a half on the second best team in the division. You're up multiple games on the Raiders. So just going to take it week by week, quarter by quarter of each part of the season And, I think the Chiefs are going to be all right. You just want to get these early wins, because if you can start off 4-0, then you might have some slip-ups in the middle of the season. That 4-0 start can boost you to having 14, 13 wins to get you, the first overall seed.
Yeah, still too early to tell, in my opinion. I do think things are shaking out how we envision them, though. I mean, I saw the Dolphins being competitive and being good. I didn't have them coming back on the Ravens like they did the other night. I hope we do get into that a little later. But the Bills, they look as dominating as ever. I'm not even gonna lie to you. They look good on all fronts. They look dominating. They look like they can have the best offense and the best defense this year. But we still have to let things play out. But I will say this, though. I think one key that we often forget as as football savants or people who really pay close attention to the game is the coaching seat. That is one thing that I think that people don't pay attention to enough, and how Nathaniel Hackett now, he's looking like a coordinator and not a head coach because of his issues with time management, because of the big issues in the red zone. And your red zone defense and offense oftentimes determine if you're going to win a game or not. And they played two terrible teams. Two teams who Seattle and Houston, who I had at the bottom of the barrel in the league. And they've struggled mightily against those teams on the offensive side of the ball. Now, is that more Hackett or is it more Russell Wilson? I don't know. I would have to go with I'll have to go with a little bit of both, actually. But I would think more on Hackett on the sidelines, making those calls to kick a 64-yard field goal in Seattle while the game is on the line, when you paid however money they gave Russell Wilson from the Walmart Trust Fund. So it's things like that can decide games that we really don't even think about sometimes when we're trying to analyze these games before the season starts. Like how Brandon Staley, like we all thought that he was going to go for more fourth downs the other night. Turns out he didn't, and you still lost. So Andy Reid, as long as we have him, we're always going to have the supreme coach in whatever matchup that we're in against whatever team in the league. And I think that ultimately gives the Chiefs a leg up.
Agreed.
Well, guys, I got to get into it because let's face it, Tyreek Hill was a big part of that Dolphins comeback. 11 catches, 190 yards. Meanwhile, the Chiefs receivers struggled a little bit to get open, to find a path. Do we think Tyreek Hill being a part of that comeback? I mean, him and Jalen Waddle, maybe the best duo in the NFL right now. When you see something like that, and you see the Chiefs in that Chargers game struggle a little bit to find its momentum. Of course, I mean, you had the big guys up front for the Chargers in the backfield, especially in that first half. Where's our miss Tyreek Hill meter right now? Mine's really leaning towards really missing Tyreek Hill.
I'm good. I'm good. You want me to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Go.
Buddy.
Yeah. I'm good. Andy Reid will figure this out. Chiefs and Chargers always play close, regardless of
also true.
Something about the Chiefs and Chargers game, regardless if we had Tyreek Hill, Kevin Lockett, I think you know what I'm getting at. Regardless of who's on paper, it's going to be a close game. As for the Dolphins and the Bills being really good in the AFC East, we need that. Because think about it, since 2000, the Patriots had nobody to play in the AFC East and clinched home field. We thought going into this year, the Dolphins with the inexperienced or rookie head coach, that the Bills were just going to mop the AFC East again. We need the Chiefs teams. I'm speaking for the Chiefs. We're the Arrowhead Allies.
Mm-hmm.
We need the Bills and the Dolphins to beat each other up. We need them to split. We need them to have to challenge each other. We don't need one of those teams just going all the way through the AFC East. So they're sitting there at 14-1, 14-2 going to the final week, not having a chance to get home field. You want that because the Chiefs and Chargers are going to be beating themselves up as well as the Chiefs' regular schedule. So I'm for the Dolphins and the Bills being strong. Missing Tyreek, no, because I trust Andy Reid and the offensive coaching staff as well as Patrick Mahomes to fix the missing pieces. And we saw that this Thursday night with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He was again more of a factor. Now, I know he didn't rush for 100 yards. He didn't break it when he was in the clear, but he still held on to the ball. He still was catching balls out of the backfield. He was still somebody to slow the game down. I do not miss Tyreek. We'll be fine. Let the Dolphins and Bills beat each other up with their superior offenses and yada, yada. I'm good. I'm good with Tyreek Hill being
No,
gone.
I think you miss.
Shane, you don't miss him just a little bit? Just
Yeah,
a little.
man.
Come on, Shane. I know that he's gone, so you just want to move on. We got what we got. We're the Chiefs. Come on, we got Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. Just a little. Come on, you see those plays. Just a little bit.
Oh yeah,
I think-
well, you're always going to miss the threat, but I'm good. I'm. It's time to move. It's time to move. I miss a lot of things. I miss Neil Smith and Derek Thomas as my outside pass rushers. But Jalen Watson looks like he's the fill-in for Dale Carter, so I'm good with that. What you got, Mykell?
Man, I really like that game. The Charger game really showed me, like, I'm watching it and I'm like, damn, yeah, we miss Tyreek. You know, he's just that guy, not only with the plays that he makes with the ball in his hands, but how teams had to play him. You know, even looking at the Dolphins game, you saw how the Ravens had to play him, which opened up for Jalen Waddle and for other guys to have big games. And that game really showed, like, it was much tougher on Travis because you didn't have a Tyreek there. So I'm about like a 5 out of 6 out of 10, I would say, when it comes to missing him. Will that number change? I believe so, because I think we have more season that guys will, you know, be more accustomed to each other. Then, hey, hell, they might even throw Sky Moore in the game for, you know, more offensive snaps.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too. So, you know, you can see where we miss him, especially against like the Chargers with that great secondary that they have with JC, Asante Samuel Jr. over there. So it's just something that the Chiefs are going to have to get better with. But like I said it during the offseason, that it was going to be a lot placed on the running backs. And you're seeing that with Clyde catching the ball more. You know, he gives us the big run to help put us in position to kind of close out the game. So guys are just going to have to step up. Juju, Mykell Hardman, MVS, we need
you didn't say Mykell. Oh.
We need you guys, man.
Yeah. Mykell, I'm
for the Mykell Hardman debate. We don't want to get into that again.
I'm probably at a 5-2 with Mr. Tyreek, because look, man, that fourth quarter that Miami put on, they put a show on. They did. It was against broken coverage. I know the Baltimore blew coverages, but you gotta take advantage of those opportunities. And they did. Them boys was down 21 points in the fourth quarter. 2 through 4 fourth quarter touchdown passes. Most of them to Tyreek, which is
who still had to wait on the ball to get there.
Let me say this: one thing that I don't miss about Tyreek Hill that actually happened on Sunday with the Dolphins and Ravens was a tip interception.
Yeah.
Did you notice it was in the first quarter? And Tyreek had about 2 or 3 of those with us last year. So no, I don't miss that. I do miss those explosive plays though. What the Chiefs have done if Tyreek was in the game against the Chargers this past week and we didn't have the depth that we had to try to take advantage of the Chargers? What about that? What if we don't have Justin Watson to hit a 40-yard dagger down the middle?
I would have Justin Watson. I don't think you have Sky Moore or MVS.
Yeah,
exactly. So you got to pick and choose what you miss.
Yes.
Well, guys,
I understand the looking back, and it's fine. It's what we do. It's something to talk about. But man, and I'm not trying to be negative Nancy, but you have to look forward. We have to look forward. We have to look at this roster. And honestly, like I said, Dolphins and the Bills competing, challenging each other helps the Chiefs out in the long run, because we need the Bills and the Dolphins to beat each other up. We need the winner of the Bills and Dolphins game this Sunday to lose the following week. So 3-0 is ahead of 2-1. And we think the Chiefs will be 3-0. So we want that. We want that, because the AFC East has been ran away by either the Bills or the Patriots the last 22 years. So let's look forward. Let's watch Sky Moore grow. Let's watch Juju learn the offense. I'm looking forward, buddies. I'm looking forward.
Well, I'm at a 10 out of 10. Go ahead, Brian, then I'll go.
One last point. I'm sorry, I got to squeeze this in. But real football guys know that all this Dolphins offense, all the running around, this is cute right now. When it's nice and sunny, the weather's perfect, the grass is the height that you wanted. There's no water on the grass. There's no snow. There's no rain. There's no temperatures involved. But when it gets chilly, when it gets to December and January, I don't think that stuff is going to be as effective. Plus, for the fact that we all know in the playoffs, guys grab and hold more, and the refs are not calling that. So yeah, it's cute right now. It's Arizona Cardinal-esque of 2021 right now. But we'll see when the temperatures drop a little bit and they escape Miami and they have to, go to Arrowhead or go to Gillette or go to Buffalo later on in the season. We'll see how it works then.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brian. I don't think Miami's here for the long haul. It's all nice and fun right now, but even on those blown coverages, Tua's still underthrowing. Tyreek's having to wait on the ball to get there against Marcus Peters. Even when he was wide open, he had to stop and wait for the ball to get there. So I'm not buying this Tua hype or this Dolphins hype. Hopefully they can take one from the Bills early on here, but we're going to see kind of how that plays out as we go. But as far as the Tyreek scale, I'm 10 out of 10. I'm looking back, Shane. You say there's no use in crying over spilt milk. What's done is done. I'm going to come over to your house and spill a gallon of milk in your kitchen and see if there's no crying, if there's no problem, no issue whatsoever. There's a big issue here. I missed those plays from Tyreek we saw week 1, snagging a ball away from a Patriots defender who was all over him. The big plays deep downfield. I miss it. I long for it. I yearn for it. I have to have it. I can't have it. I got so desperate as like 2 a.m. I just wake up in a cold sweat. I'm looking at his contract. How many years was that? Can he get back here? No. His career's going to be over by the time his contract's up. Darn. So but we did have that huge throw. Brian mentioned it. Patrick Mahomes to Justin Watson for the touchdown. Tyreek Hill tweeted, "Good throw, 15," with a crying emoji. So I feel like there's a little regret there from Tyreek Hill from leaving Kansas City. Even with this, I think he knows it's not for the long haul. He'd rather be here in Kansas City. And here's a little video for that.
Tua is that deal, bro. He has an arm. He has a heck of an arm, bro. He's accurate. He can throw the deep ball.
High snap handled by Tagovailoa, and the pass is incomplete.
3rd and 10. This time they send an extra man. Mahomes gets away to the end zone. Caught! Watson, touchdown.
If I had the chance to start all over, I would be wishing today on a 4-leaf clover, and leaving would be the last thing on my mind. If I could turn back the hands of time.
Don't you just thinking at the end of the season, Tyreek's going to be singing that for sure.
Did Al Michaels need a little excitement pill there or something? He acted like that was a routine 2-yard gain up the middle.
Oh man,
Justin Watson touchdown.
That was good.
I mean, as you guys look at me, I'm a nostalgic person. I mean, could you tell that by looking at me? I have some nostalgia for it, but I'm not a 10. I'm probably a 6 or a 7. It'll inflate and deflate as the season goes on. After week 1, I was like at a 2. So it's like, hey, look at all these guys. Look at all, Juju and BS. We'll see. Like Shane said, the Chargers, it's always close. It's always down to the wire. Guys, one topic I got to bring up before we get out of here today, and that's a problem. This team has a problem. Believe it or not, guys, this team has a weakness and it needs to be discussed. Shaggy Shane, I'm coming to you with it because I feel like you're partially to blame for the problem. Because I'm talking to a guy that enjoys having a good NFL offensive line. I'm not that guy. I think the difference between the best offensive line and the 25th best offensive line is so razor thin that you can't even see it.
Oh, you out of your mind, Clint.
You're talking about.
Oh, you out of your mind.
I never wanted Orlando Brown.
Let the battle begin.
I never wanted Joe Tooney here.
Look,
and
the
guess what?
offense starts and stops with the offensive line.
Oh, I know. Back in 1989, Brian, it sure did. I agree. Back when my uncle was coaching down in coaching the Joplin Eagles.
Have you seen the Bengals?
In the 1980s.
Tell that to the Bengals.
No, yeah.
Tell it to them.
Super Bowl.
Tell it to the Super Bowl 55 Chiefs. That's exactly why the offensive line is in the shape it's in. Of course, there was a knee-jerk reaction to Super Bowl 55. Noah and I were there. We experienced it firsthand. I never wanted Orlando Brown here. Joe Tooney, that contract's ridiculous. Shane loves offensive linemen. I don't like. I like Trey Smith in the 6th round, y'all. And you know what? This team has a problem because it can't run the ball. It can't pick up short yardage. You saw the momentum change in the first quarter, 3rd and 2. What do we have to do? This coaching staff has to overthink itself because it can't line up and get 1 centimeter later in the game. It's 4th and goal from the 1-inch line. Can't go for it. Not this high-powered offense. Not with this offensive line. We got to kick the field goal because we can't run for 1 centimeter. That's a problem, guys. And that's not just on the offensive line. I use that as kind of a hyperbolic statement here. That's on everything. The play calling, the running game, whatever it may be. This team has a short yardage problem, and it's going to plague us all season, and it has for the last couple of years. Shane, help me out here.
I think it's something that you have to look at through a wide spectrum, Noah.
I am.
Clint, because I know you're frustrated. I was frustrated too. But at the end of the day, when the game ended, the Chiefs won by 3. At 4th and goal inside the 1, Andy Reid went for 3.
And it was the right choice, by the way.
It was because if we come up short there, we're going to feel like the Cincinnati Bengals game. Oh my gosh, how do we react? Oh my gosh, we just blew points where we should have kicked the field goal, and then the Chiefs go into a shell, and then the Chargers use all the momentum, yada, yada, yada. I think it was the fear of the Andy Reid's fear of the Cincinnati Bengals game in the AFC Championship game. He just thought, hey, we're down here. Let's take the points and let's tie it up and see where we go and keep some momentum. But to agree with you, Clint, I want to say this. When we took those 3, the Chargers used that as a momentum, and they went down the field and faced 1st and goal at the 3. And I remember thinking that whole drive, man, the Chargers are using that momentum, holding us to a field goal. Derwin James just slammed Travis Kelce on the play that got him down to 1st and goal to 3. Then they just held us to a field goal. Now the game's tied. Now it's 1st and goal to 3. Then Jalen Watson said, hold my beer. Made the interception and returned it 99 yards right then and there. So I understand the concern. It's human nature to want to go for it because you're Andy Reid. You got these freaking beasts in the center with Creed Humphrey, the left tackle, left guard, and right guard Trey Smith and Tooney. You got that, and you can't freaking get an inch. What Blake Bell's being on injury reserve, you run a short yardage behind him. It is frustrating, but in the entire landscape, the Chiefs did what they had to do in that situation, and it paid off because they won by 3.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't even really blame the O-line because you saw late when we needed.
Fair enough.
They opened up a big hole. It's just the play calling. For some reason, Andy Reid likes to pass to his fullbacks, but he don't want them in there blocking on 1st and goal. So, I just think that he has to trust. And if for some reason they don't have Clyde in the game whenever they're down there, they may put in, McKinnon, which I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Or throw in Pacheco. He just showed you last week that, hey, run me the ball. I can pound it in and fall forward.
He got stuffed too, though, on a
3rd and 1, yeah.
No, yeah, but I just think the play calling, go old school, just have 3 tight ends, a fullback, and try to pound it in, especially against guys like Bosa and Mack. But a lot of that was just the respect off of, of the Chargers and what that D-line can do, that they were like, you know what, let's take the points. And our defense was picking it up. They kind of figured something out defensively where they were like, let's not even put them in a tough spot. Kick this field goal, tie this game up, and let's see if our defense can make a play, which they did.
You all act like you're not Chiefs fans. This is an Andy Reid team. Of course, the strong suit isn't going to be short yardage. It is what it is. I will take.
You got to be able to pick up a first down, though. At some point, the quarterback sneaks out, right? It's just out. It's out of the playbook forever.
Yes, no more sneak.
Yeah. Rose Bowl parade, right? Get on board, Clint.
But that's
until Blake Bell comes back.
That speaks to Mykell's point about the play calling because they can't get it right.
I got to go to the chat because Huckleberry Rattler, he's right on with the thinking that I am. Clyde had 9.2 per touch in the game versus the Chargers. Clyde is on fire this year. 15 carries, 116 yards. He's averaging 7.7 yards per carry. Give it to Clyde,
when it
man.
matters
Let
in the
little
short yardage.
bowling ball get it up in there.
Yeah, I don't get
it. Noah, what do you think about all this?
Oh, the running of the football. Yeah. I mean, you guys said you love to sweep with Mykell. They run it on 3rd and 2. I'm not a fan of sweep behind the line of scrimmage. I know it wasn't McCall's fault. I know Kelce, they had Kelce blocking Bosa. He didn't make the block. It's a horrible call. You've got Patrick Mahomes. That's an Alex Smith call. He's not going to – we've got to do something behind. We've got to trick him. He's not going to be able to get the first down 2 yards throwing beyond the line of scrimmage. You've got Mahomes. You've got Kelce. You've got to throw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. And you can't be doing these trick plays behind the line with Mykell when you've got Mahomes.
Somebody made a good point on there. They should activate Ronald Jones in those short yardage situations, but like you said, Brian, he was averaging 9 yards a carry, but I don't think down in the goal line or a short yardage situation, that they have trusted Clyde Edwards-Helaire to be that guy when they go to max offensive protection and 3 tight ends and a fullback. I don't know why they don't trust it. The only short yardage guy that is really good, and I think he converts every short yardage, is Mykell Burton. But I think, is it too good to be true that Mykell Burton's going to pick up 3rd and inches or 4th and goal inside the 1 every single time? He's got a pretty good average. I think he's 5 for 5 or 6 for 6 going back to last year. How many times Mykell Burton's going to get that inside handoff? I'd rather go.
That's when you bring him in, you fake it to him, and Mahomes does the Bono boot out for 76 yards.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're missing Blake Bell at a lot too, fellas.
Yeah, and then we haven't seen
he was an integral part in our short yardage and red zone.
Yeah, and we haven't seen it, I don't think, since we played at New England a few years back. What happened to the Wildcat with Travis Kelce? Put him in the Wildcat and, let that big guy fall forward, or if the defense just jumps forward, he can throw it good enough for a trick play.
That's all part of why another reason this offense can't seem to get it done is it relies on plays like that to get it done. And at some point, that's just not going to work. And we've seen I think Burton did get stuffed on a 3rd or 4th and inches last season. I can't remember what game it was, but he did. But you're right. Burton has kind of been the guy. And, you can't do a quarterback sneak when that's out the window. And I don't think it should be, guys. I'm sorry.
I agree. I agree with you, Clint. It shouldn't be. It was a fluke when he got injured. The freaking offensive lineman landed on him in the scrub. They should be able to run that. Patrick Mahomes should be able to jump over the top. I would like to see that come back. People are like, oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. Look at this. Look at that. No.
Lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place, man.
Right.
So you want to be the coach that runs Patrick Mahomes again, and something happens to him again.
They run design runs for him. They run design runs for him. He flushes from the pocket and scrambles. I mean, we take that out.
He got hit.
What do you do?
Years away from that.
Tom Brady does that play at 44, man.
Shout out to Caleb Robinson, man. He's 100% right. Stop going shotgun. It's 31. Get under center and hand that ball off with a fullback that can be there to pick up time. Where's the days of Tony Richardson being back there?
Oh man, I wish.
You don't have him.
True.
Hey, Burton got to be a little more nimble. To where T-Rich was.
Right.
He'd also have to leave a house unattended in Overland Park that falls apart and owes hundreds of thousands in taxes. Different topic for a different show.
That transitions me into my next topic, Clint. Predictions for the Colts-Chiefs game. That's a great transition, a great segue into that. Mykell, we're going to start off with you. What do you got? You almost called it perfectly for the Chargers game. You had it 28-24, ended up being 27-24. Nostradamus, take us home.
Yeah, man, I was being generous with that extra point, but I got the Chiefs. I'll say 31-17. 31-17. I think you're going to see a big game from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. The offense is going to pick it up a little more. You're going to see a turnover or two from Matt Ryan, and that the Chiefs, they control this game early and win 31-17.
Shane, you think this is going to be close going into the fourth quarter?
I think the Colts are going to try to do everything to slow this game down. Use that running game, slow it down, just like Marty Schottenheimer would. It's the Colts home opener. It's going to be, I think, going into the fourth quarter, it's either going to be 10-10 or 14-14 going into the fourth quarter. And then Patrick Mahomes is going to throw 3 touchdowns and the Chiefs will win 35-14 going away. But I just think it's going to be a game going into it just because on paper, these guys, this Colts team is good. And that running back is real good. He's the best running back in the NFL. The Chiefs could have had him, but I think even if they would have drafted him, they would have used him differently. But that's neither here nor there. Mm-hmm. I think that it's going to be close. Chiefs pull away in the fourth quarter. Chiefs win 35-14. Who you got, Bishanin?
Man, I got a slugfest. I really do. I think the Colts are going to throw everything at us. Defensively, I think they're going to come up with some creative schemes, try to slow us down, and try to maybe play some shell a little bit more. I'm thinking it's a slugfest going into the fourth, and the Chiefs pull away. I got them winning 23-16.
I just don't see it. I see that we watched Week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals. I think right now, the Colts, are maybe worse than the Arizona Cardinals here, and lot of factors here. We talked about it. Backs against the wall, desperation, desperate team at home. The Kansas City Chiefs, though, what a great road team. What a great road offense. They've been under Patrick Mahomes. If you guys look through it since 2018, the way that this team has played on the road, a lot of times when you line that up with home games, it's been a better road team. I see this as a party time, one that you're, enjoying your food at halftime, kicking back, and you're not having to worry about this in the second half. I think it's going to be a game where the Colts score a couple times late, maybe like the Cardinals did, and the Chiefs win something like 37-21 after a late touchdown or two from the Indianapolis Colts. I just think this team is lost. Matt Ryan was not the answer, clearly. Jonathan Taylor's getting zeroed in on. The Chiefs' run defense, we talked about it. It's improved. And obviously, if they can slow it down, get the running game going, get the offense going, this will be a game, but I just don't see it, man. You're gonna have to really have a C- D+ game from this Chiefs team going in there just sleepwalking for this, I think, to be a game.
Right.
We'll see.
You must have read my mind, Clint. I wanted to say 45-0, just party. I think this is going to be, like you said, I think the Chiefs are going to just be a little bit sleepy in Indy, and it's going to take some time to wake up. They're 0-2. It's the road. It's Indianapolis. They're just struggling mightily. I just think the Chiefs are going to be a little sleepy going into this game, but I think they're going to finally find their footing in the second half and pull away 31-9. Chiefs take it.
Sweet.
I like it.
Wow. So 3-0. Anyway, I'll take it any way we can get it. 3-0 here.
Yeah, 3-0. That works.
And
then you're talking about
Chiefs coaching staff have to keep them focused on this game and not looking forward to Tampa, which is going to be a fun game to break down next week, gentlemen.
Yeah,
man, that is so true, guys. Arrowhead Allies, this has been the most spirited show yet. We've almost gone an hour here. Didn't expect that to be the case here going into a game against the Indianapolis Colts, but the landscape of the NFL, there's a lot going on here and a lot to start discussing. And as we dissect this team, it's going to be fun to do all year long here on Arrowhead Allies. Guys, it's always a pleasure to be on here with each and every one of you. I feel blessed every week. I'm not just saying that. I don't throw that hashtag blessed thing around, like it's nothing. You guys are the best, each and every one of you guys. I mean it.
My dog, always
Go
love.
Chiefs!
Love it, fellas.
Much love,
Absolutely.
man.
Till next week. This is Arrowhead Allies. Go Chiefs!
Yes.
Go Chiefs!